Hey friends, you're listening to the None But Curious podcast, a space for nuns, agnostics, and nothing in particulars. We are okay with not knowing, and we're inspired by each other, art, nature, and everyday moments. I'm really happy you're here. Let's go explore. Say it with me. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. I came across this book, Fuck It, The Ultimate Spiritual Way by John C. Parkin a couple of months ago, and it's been sitting on my bookshelf, and I decided now would be the time to read it. And it's glorious and confusing and calming somehow. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and a lot of us have been running around doing last minute things, making sure that we have everything if we're hosting, making sure that we're all packed if we're traveling. And I want you to say it again. Fuck it. This comes off as being dismissive, but it's really not. A lot of us put so much pressure on ourselves for all of these things that don't even matter. And according to John Parkin, saying fuck it gives us a moment to just take back our power and relax. I am here. I am here now. And to be honest, this year has been crazy. This year has been crazy in my microcosm. It's been crazy in the world. Do I even need to go there right now? It just seems like everything is falling apart somehow. And all I can find myself doing is saying, fuck it. Now, a couple years ago, when I chose my word for the year, I chose the word okay. And it kind of had a similar tone to it. It was my way of accepting things as they are in the moment. It was also my way of allowing room for discomfort and growth. So if there was something happening that I didn't like, okay. If I was invited to do something that I normally wouldn't partake in, oh, okay. You see the difference? It's the same word, but it allows for movement. It allows for going with the flow. And that's essentially what fuck it is. Going with the flow. There's a lot of things we can't control. Shit, there's a lot of things we can't control. But we can take charge of ourselves. Right here, right now. So, on this Thanksgiving Eve, the eve to the holiday madness, which has already begun since before Halloween, join me in saying, fuck it. You don't have enough dessert for everyone? Fuck it. You don't want to call your relatives and let them know that you're not feeling up for it? Fuck it. You don't really want to drive all the way out there to see people? Fuck it. You don't have a good enough gift for the hostess? Fuck it. You're going to have to sit next to people you haven't talked to in at least a year. Fuck it. Maybe you'll have a great conversation. Maybe you'll learn something about them you didn't know. The point is, we all need to relax just a little. Just a little. Every one of us is tense and uptight and wound tightly. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Look at the world around us. If somebody cuts you off, you want to murder them. Why? People do not do things, for the most part, in a malicious manner. Most of the time, what I have learned from my teenagers is that they're in their own little world. People don't even know that you exist. So why are you angry? And to be honest, you likely don't know that other people exist either. You're so caught up in your thoughts and your to-do list that you likely have done the same to others. You've cut people off. You've cut people in line. You've said snarky things that you can't take back that linger in somebody's brain forever. Fuck it. Honestly. And what I learned from this book is that the things that we think matter typically aren't the things that matter. And the things that we try to give meaning to are meaningless. Honestly, this whole book was a book of contradiction. And it reminds me of what I've read in regards to Zen or Tao. And I dig it. I dig the conundrum of those philosophies because you can't have one without the other. It's not even dualism. It's just balance, maybe. It's just the flow, I guess, right? The flow, the chi, the energy, the flow, whatever you want to call it. Saying fuck it doesn't mean that you're being dismissive. It just means that I take my hands off the wheel and I'll see where this ride takes me. And honestly, whenever I've done that, it's been absolutely terrifying and exhilarating all at once. The last time I can think of that comes to mind is when I was in labor with my youngest, and I had all of these plans for how the labor was going to go, just like I did with each of my others. I had music and I had crystals and rocks and my color therapy glasses, and I used none of those things at all. I was so in the present moment. I wasn't even concerned if I was going to die. I could have. It felt like I might. It was a very real risk. I mean, there's a risk in that in every pregnancy, but I was in labor for a long time and little guy was just not moving and things weren't going as they should. And I remember laying there, sleep deprived. I hadn't had food in days at that point. And I just kind of zoned out and was like, That's all I said. I didn't even say fuck it. I had no words. It was almost like I was so in the moment. I couldn't verbalize what I was thinking. But I do remember that moment. And it was terrifying and exhilarating. And then once the baby was born, I was brought back to earth and the fun began. Also, saying fuck it gets us to do the things that we know we intuitively should do, but we're talking ourselves out of. You don't like your job and you have an opportunity to perhaps pursue what makes you happy. Fuck it. Do it. And sometimes these things don't make sense. I said fuck it to a relationship that looked good on paper several years ago, and I was absolutely miserable. And I took a deep breath and essentially said, let's just do this. Let's just see where it goes. It's not like saying, well, fuck off, fuck you. No, you're just saying fuck it. So when you are partaking in all of your Thanksgiving festivities, tomorrow, this weekend, hell, even Christmas or whatever holiday you might celebrate, just say fuck it. Stop putting so much pressure on yourself, honestly. Enjoy the ride. The holidays should be a time for recognizing the connections that we have and honoring them. It's a time for rest and restoration. Just say fuck it. It'll be good for you. Mutter it under your breath. You'll feel a lot better. I promise. Hey, thanks for listening. Let's keep this conversation going. Share your stories with our None But Curious Facebook group, or you can also follow our Instagram at None But Curious, or email Candy at nonebutcurious.org if you want to share your ideas and thoughts. Until next time, stay curious.